I am going to make something with you today. This is Maker Kit number 5, and the challenge is to make a person or creature out of the pipe cleaners you've been given that stands up on its own. So you can use all of these pipe cleaners, you can just use some of them, you can just use one of them. It's up to you. And if you would like, then you could also cut them, but be very careful because pipe cleaners sometimes are hard to cut because there's a wire in the middle. Also, sometimes the ends of pipe cleaners are kind of sharp, so be careful when you're handling the ends, especially if you bend them. Okay? And of course, we're going to be bending to do this challenge. Now, this is a maker challenge, which means there's some STEM involved. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So you're using some of those skills to figure out how to make something that stands up. I saw this in the picture that I took this idea from. So the first thing I'm going to make with you, and you don't have to make one just like this, you can make it however you want. But the first one I'm going to try and make is a person. See the head? And these are the legs. And I'm going to see if I can make this little guy stand up. Now, it doesn't have to stand up on 2 feet. It just needs to have part of it stand up and not fall over when you let go. Okay? So let's see if I can manage that. And I decided I wanted to make something like this. And because I like the way these legs are and it reminds me of a mermaid, I'm going to give my person some arms, and I think this kind of looks like a mermaid tail. So I'm going to call it my mermaid. And I am going to set her up like she was sitting up just fine with her fishtail laying out. And you know what? I figured out why it won't stay up now as well, because I added the arms. Why? Because now she's heavier here, and the heavier weight makes her fall over. So I could come up with a couple of solutions. I could have her sit back on her hands like that, and that distributes the weight that she has right here evenly so she sits up. Or I can move her arms down further on her body so that the upper part of her body above the arms is not so weighed down. Do you think that might work? Well, look at that. She's still kind of balancing on her hands, but she's able to sit up more at the upper part of her body now because I moved the weight downward. I'm going to straighten her out a little more. And there she is. Now, I'd also like to make a creature, and I have to decide how do I want to do that. This little pipe cleaner, the thin one, makes for some good legs. See how they're small, so they're easier to stand up, but they still don't stand up well on their own, do they? So I'm going to borrow my mermaid's arms. Kind of mean of me, but I'm going to do it. And I am going to try to set her back up by herself. Let's see if she'll sit back up. Remember, this is a challenge that has no right or wrong way to do it. The goal is to make it stand up on its own, but you can do that however you like. She doesn't want to stay back up this time. That's okay. Alright, now I'm going to straighten this back out. And I'm going to make 2 sets of legs with these little pipe cleaners. Okay? Why won't they stay up? Well, they need something to stabilize them. Because see, these wires here are tiny and they don't balance well. But if I add a body help stabilize them, maybe they will. So I am going to put both sets of legs through here. Then I'm going to twist this several times so that I have a nice thick body. I don't know if this will work. I haven't tried it before. I'm going to try it right now with you watching. But before I do this, there's a little bit more that I would like to do. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to fold this over so that it's a little better attached and twist it. And second of all, I'm going to create feet so that instead of balancing on these tiny little wires, now my pipe cleaner creature has feet. You see how I made those? Now I'm going to try and do that with the other end and give this side feet too. I'm also going to twist this end together a little bit. Now, I want to make sure that I try to get my feet evenly spaced apart. That one is a little bit longer on one side than it is on the other. And if they're not evenly spaced apart, I predict that they will have less chance of standing up on their own. I want you, when you're making these challenges with me, to make your own predictions about what will happen before it does. What do you predict will do if you make it the way you have and set it up? Do you think it will fall over? Do you think it will stay in place? So I predict that this is going to be hard to stand up, but that it will. And it did! Look at that! I call my creature a fire butterfly. I can see little wings back here, and it's yellow, so it reminds me of a firefly. The wings remind me a little more of a butterfly, but I feel like it's not complete. I feel like it needs more, so I'm going to add more. I am going to add something, and then I'm going to see if it will still stand up even after I've added that. Okay? I want you to do something similar. If you change your design, predict what will happen again. And it still stood up. So you saw my creature and my fire butterfly and my mermaid. Now my mermaid did a better job when she had arms to sit behind her, didn't she? So I wonder if I twisted her body a little bit at the back, so I kind of give her a bottom to sit on, if maybe she would sit better. What do you think? Let's see. And she's kind of sideways, but she's staying up. I count that as a win. I would love to see your creations and find out what your predictions were. What did you think would happen with mine, and what happened with yours? I hope you enjoyed this maker kit. Be sure to check out our other ones and look for more in the future. Have a wonderful day. Bye.